Well, first of all, thank you all for joining today. As I just mentioned, this is a new user webinar. Today, we'll take you through the functions. We'll take you through how to best use the platform. So we are essentially a part of the community engagement team. Our team is actively reaching out, connecting with community NGO groups around the world, introducing them to the Restore platform. And we really count on your support. We count on your feedback, so we can continue to build the platform to really suit the needs of the restoration community. So look, what I will do, I will quickly run you through the agenda for today. We want to make the session quite interactive, so we'll do some breakout rooms, which will allow you guys to connect and introduce yourselves to each other as well. We'll also have we'll also do some polls where we can have a bit of an interactive session, and my colleague Hema at some point later on in the session will actually run you through the platform and give you a really high level overview on its functions and what it can be used for. Then we'll open up some time for some questions. So, Anisha, if you could quickly show the next slide. So this is essentially the running order of today. So firstly, what we will do is we will just run some polls just to kind of maybe get to know who our audience is today. Well, obviously, we all know you all signed up to Restore, but Anisha will share that with you now. So go ahead, Anisha. We'll put a link into the chat. So just bear with us for one second. There's a link. If you click onto that link, then it will take you to a website, the Menti website, which you then can go in and answer your question. So if you just click on one of these, so the first question that we have is, what motivated you to join Restore? Is it the science data, displaying your projects, the network opportunities, the funding or collaborators, finding collaboration, or access to funding opportunities, or to support and find other projects, or volunteer your time? So if you literally just click on one of those answers, then it will display that in the graphs. So currently have scientific data is leading the way, which is great to see. We'll just hold that for another 30 seconds or so. Give everyone a chance to click. If you haven't done it yet, go into the chat. So you see the chat at the bottom of the screen, and then there's a link. You can click on that link, and it will take you through to this page. Displaying your projects, great to see. Access funding opportunities, always a high one as well. We'll discuss that a little bit later on today. Obviously, during the platform demonstration, we'll go into a bit more detail about the science and the impact data behind Restore. That's great. Thank you very much. And those answers are always really helpful for us, to ensure that we're continuing to build this platform to So, Anissa, is there another one? Move on to the next one. Okay. How did you find out about Restore? Okay, so was it through a Facebook ad? Was it through WhatsApp campaign? And through other social media channels? Did someone contact you directly from Restore? Was it word of mouth, posters, or was it an event? We're often attending events around the world, and always great opportunities to network and meet people. So we'll just hold here again for another 20 to 30 seconds or so to answer these questions. Let's see. Wonderful. We'll give it another 10 more seconds. Excellent. Okay. Thank you, Anissa. That's great. Was that the final poll, Anissa, or was there any more?
Oh, there's actually one more.
One more.
It's regarding the community.
Excellent.
Actually, yeah.
Okay. So Restore wants to provide you a community space where you can interact with each other more. Now there's various forms of ways of doing this. Now there's obviously, we know about WhatsApp. There's lots of WhatsApp groups. We know Discord is used a lot as well. But look, if there's any other ways that you're interested in or you know of, please feel to put them into the chat. Obviously, a lot of the community engagement that we're doing is off platform. Like we do these webinars. We also have a series of community webinars happening this year that will all communicate. We will communicate to you, and just please always keep an eye out to the newsletters for them as well. So a lot of the stuff is done off platform, but if there's any other ways, we're always interested to find out what people are interested in, how we continue to keep up the connections of this amazing community that we have on the platform. So WhatsApp seems to be quite popular today. That's great. We will take that feedback on board. Okay, thank you, Anissa. Maybe we can close that down now, and we can share results. We can share results with you in a follow-up email after this webinar as well. Okay, so once again, before we go into the breakout rooms, I just quickly want to say again, feel free to ask questions throughout this webinar. What we're going to do now is we're actually going to put you guys into breakout rooms. These are going to be breakout rooms of 5 people. This will only last 5 to 6 minutes. What we want you to do, the whole purpose of this is we want people to get to know each other. We want more connections to be made. We won't be facilitating these breakout rooms, so someone in there will have to initiate the conversation, maybe introduce yourselves, let the other guys know where you're working, what interventions you're working for, and hopefully you make some great collaborations and exchange some contact details. So Anissa will do that. You will automatically go into the breakout room. Zoom will do its magic, and when the time is finished, you will come back into the main room, and we will continue with this presentation. So, Anissa, without further ado.
Simply it's life. Without forest, without trees, no life will continue. So for me, it's life.
Oh, I could spin you one hell of a yarn. I could tell you about how waters once teemed with life and grasses rustled, parting for the bodies of big beasts and the nudge of small ones, and how we now often find ourselves
in silence. But by now, you know that story. So I'm going to keep it simple. And simply, I want to introduce you to Restore, a home for hope and collective action, a global community working to protect nature.
Because all I know, and I know for sure, is that if we don't protect biodiversity, we're in deep shape.
Coffee is one of the most industrialized, cultivated crops, and for me it's important to show that there is another way. The more diversity we have, the more safe a system is. So you embed the farm in the forest, in an ecosystem that sustains itself. Yeah, to get that soul again, we have to acknowledge that we need each other for growth. A human being or communities can only grow in exchange with each other.
And there are hundreds of thousands of initiatives like this across our planet, led by local farmers, communities and businesses.
Imagine a platform that allows us to see this entire movement, where we can engage with just the click of a button. A platform that not only allows you to help the movement, but to become a part of it. Because when you know exactly where your goods come from, you have the power to impact global restoration with every product you choose.
We have a chance to not only imagine, but to enact something different. This time we're in will be looked back on. So the real question is, what did you do?
Clear.
So yeah, hello
Yeah.
everyone. Very welcome to Restore. My name is Anissa and I'm a part of Restore community engagement team based in Indonesia. And I'll quickly introduce you to our history and also mission. And then my colleague Hima later will show you also how to use the platforms. So first of all, I'm very proud to have you as the newest members of our community. And we recognize the great importance of every organization working with the nature restoration and conservation to achieve our biodiversity and climate goals. And recent studies from the Crowther Lab, the lab where Restore was born, suggest that combined efforts with also cutting emission. So if we protect the forest and restore the forest, we can have a huge potential to sequester carbon up to 226 gigatons. And the work of the community-led initiatives, such as many of you here, is very crucial. And that's why Restore exists, basically to help you forward with the global restoration and conservation movement. So a little bit about Restore. Restore is a public geospatial data platform. It's kind of similar to Google Maps, but it is built exclusively for nature. So on our map, you can see initiatives of restoration, conservation, and also sustainable use of any types of ecosystem all over the globe. And we provide transparency and connectivity to these initiatives, which help them share their stories and also get better access and exposure to funding opportunities. A bit more about the Restore origin. I already mentioned to you that Restore comes from the Crowther Lab at ETH Zurich. So they are, amongst other things, they build global models of ecological metrics. For example, how biodiversity is distributed all over the world. But they had this perception that science information tended to remain in the academic environment only and not reach to the people working on the field. So we are trying to make this scientific information more tangible by building layers of data taken from only peer-reviewed articles and official satellite databases. And when you add a polygon to Restore, it will crop each data layer using the shape and location of your polygon. It will act like as mold and give you specific insights for that specific area. But please note that these insights are not meant to replace your local knowledge and field measurement results, because using global models has its own constraints. For example, the error and the resolution of the model. And what we want is to make it easier for you to access scientific information and add extra layers of information to what you already know about your site. And Restore is also now standing as an independent organization who are also an official partner of the UN Decade on Ecosystem Restoration. I will explain to you a bit about how can Restore help you. So first, Restore can help you with planning. So Restore has ecological insights on biodiversity, environment, and land use along with high-resolution imagery. And they can help you understand history of your site and support decision makings about what intervention to take. And second is visibility. So Restore provides you with a space to showcase your work where others, including potential funders, can also see you and learn more about your initiatives. Third is monitoring. So basically, besides planning, our data layers and high-resolution imagery can also help you track your progress over time. We currently host Esri Wayback, which has around 50 centimeters resolution globally, and Planet NICFI, which has 4.8 meter resolution in tropical areas. Last but not least is collaboration. So on the platform, you can collaborate with your colleague within your own organizations or with other organizations or partners on the platform. And we'll also soon release tools to enable organization and corporation to be able to monitor and get insights across their portfolio of organization and also collection. And Restore now is basically the world's largest nature database. So today, Restore hosts more than 200,000 sites that are spread across 140 countries, and it's summing up to around 67 million hectares of restoration and conservation activities. And they are all managed by 18,000 users from more than 2,000 organizations. And the platform itself is available in 7 languages to accommodate diversity of the restoration community. And we really, really value the local community-led organizations doing their amazing work on the ground. And we are also home to larger NGOs, companies, and also funders. So before Hima takes you around the platform, I want to take you on a moment to watch a video of our community members.
I can't help but not want to make a difference somehow. Just all it takes is people who care. I do believe if people don't do something more at Ferncliff in the next 10 years, it would not be here. Those last few surviving mature trees would be pulled down by creepers. Nothing would be able to regenerate, and we will have lost, we don't know what we'll have lost.
This is a threatened biome called an eastern mist belt forest, and we're all about restoring the biodiversity at Ferncliff Forest.
It's a bit spidery in here.
We kind of see ourselves as the slow food of the restoration movement. We've decided to try and plant slightly more mature trees, and make a tree guard out of bamboo for each tree so it doesn't get heavily browsed. Water it if there's a dry spell, things like that. And we've found that our success rate has been very high. It's 97% survival rate.
I think the value of small projects is vital. I think 1 million small projects is just as important as one huge project because of these precious small ecosystems.
Bamboo, it's bad, man.
This was just bamboo, that was sort of the border towards that side. This was just dark, dark, dark bamboo.
We're just trying to fight this back. It's an exotic species that isn't supposed to be here, but that is our biggest challenge in terms of the invasive plants. It just spreads like wildfire.
There are a few indigenous trees doing quite well now. There's over that side, over this side. It literally was brought back to life just because we got enough light. So yeah, it's one of the most joyous things about it is to see things come back. When you go out and you reconnect and you see the extent of change, creatures sometimes come back just with the tiny bit that we've done. When we've cleared an area, you'll suddenly see birds and insects that you haven't seen before. You'll suddenly see this tree's like an extra 30 centimeters up and it's like, it's happy, it's speaking somehow. In that way, I can stay very hopeful indeed, luckily.
Hello everyone, welcome to Restore. To access Restore, you can go to www.restor.eco on your browser. Signing up for an account will give you the best experience out of Restore. You can sign in using a Google account or any other email address you have. Once you are signed in, you can start exploring. This is our landing page. Restore is available in 7 languages. You can change the language by clicking the 3 lines on the upper right hand side. On the right side, you can see toggles for data layers, map settings, and other features which can help you explore the map. We are now exploring the sites which can be the areas of restoration, conservation, and sustainable land use initiatives. I'll take you to one of my favorite restoration sites. This is a site profile of a mangrove restoration initiative in Indonesia. The site profile contains information about the initiative, such as the name, organization, photos of the sites and activities, and contact information that can be shared through various social media platforms. And you can also embed your site on Restore through your own website by copying this code and pasting it to your website script. The site profile will also contain auto-generated scientific insights based on the best scientific publications and global dataset available. Here, you can see the data for biodiversity, tree, shrub, and herb species, carbon storage in above and below ground biomass as well as soil, net primary productivity, land and tree cover, and UVI, water, and other environmental metrics. On the About tab, you can see a more detailed description about the initiative, including when the initiative started, what goals they have, what kind of support they need, and also a button to get direction on Google Maps. Restore also allows you to co-manage the sites, and on this Connection tab, you can see the people and organizations who are involved in this initiative, allowing collaboration and better connectivity. One of the most powerful features on Restore, beside the scientific data, is the two high-resolution imagery that can be accessed directly on the map. Restore hosts the Esri Wayback that is available globally on 50 to 30 cm resolution, and Planet Nikvi that is available biannually for tropical areas with 4.8 meter resolution. Using this feature, you can visually track how the lands change over time and showcase your restoration and conservation impact. Another exciting feature is you can visualize the data layers on the map and put it side by side with the graph to better understand about the impacts. Now I will show you how to add a site. Adding a site to Restore is quite straightforward. You can click Add to Map, New Site, and you have two options. You can upload your geofile using these formats, or, just like what I'm doing here, you can click to directly form the boundary on the map. When you are done, you can click Analyze Area to get the preview of the scientific insights, and then you can click Save as a Site. You will be directed to a few pages to fill in information about your initiatives. You can add descriptions, photos, and at the end of this process, you can publish the site and access it anytime on the map. Besides sites, Restore can also host point of interest, which are point location of activities such as tree nurseries, botanical garden, offices, educational center, and many others. Restore also allows you to manage sites into collections, which are theme folder of public sites. You can add any public site into a collection on Restore. Besides organizing sites into collections, you can also link your site, point of interest, and collections into an organization profile. By having an organization profile, you will be able to showcase your portfolio to get better visibility and connectivity. In the future, we are planning to release aggregated insights, which allows organizations to measure impacts across their portfolio using the collection feature. Restore also wants to connect implementers on the ground to funding. You can access the funding opportunity page on Restore, find the suitable one according to your region and goals, and see more details on how to apply. Please look forward to our upcoming updates. You can check the latest update through our notification button. If you need any support, don't hesitate to access our support page or send us a message. Happy restoring! Off to you, Gwen.
Anita, before you stop sharing your screen, there was a question I've just seen in the chat. It's about downloading and extracting data from the platform. obviously it's not that we don't have an API for that yet, but there is an option to embed your site into your website.
Yeah.
So Anissa can quickly show you that where.
So if it's your own site, of course, because I'm somehow the admin of this site, you can have like the share button and you click on this one and you click embed. And then here, there will be a code that you can paste into your own website script. And you will have like your own restore map in here. And I think it will show in your website along with the satellite imageries as well. So people can actually access it directly from your website.
Fantastic. Thank you, Anissa. So, Anissa, if you stop sharing your screen, and we'll go back to the home page. What we will do now, we only have 10, 15 minutes left. And lots of you have been asking questions throughout the session, which has been great. But I might make this a brief opportunity. If anyone would like to put their hand up and ask a question, feel free to go ahead. Yes, we have a question. Is it Ines?
Yes, Queen. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, it's about funding opportunities. You mentioned that there is an option where we can do the application directly through the platform. What would you recommend, doing it directly, or we as an organization, in this case NGO, try to contact by email the organization and explain a little bit more in detail what we are looking for, what are our goals? Just taking account your experience.
No, that's a wonderful question. So yeah, so just to be totally clear, we kind of have two methodologies with this. The first one is, if you go to our funding opportunities page, we're essentially just listing funding opportunities. So our team are kind of scouring the web, finding the latest funding opportunities that are available, and we've put it all on the website. So basically it becomes a database. Now, the second thing that we're doing is we're actually rolling this out pretty in the next coming weeks. Is we're working with funding partners now who actually want to use the Restore database to source projects. And then Restore users then can apply for those funding opportunities via the Restore website. And when they apply for those funding opportunities, that they're obviously linking in their sites that they've added, and they're linking in their organization profile, which becomes very easy. It streamlines the assessment process for these funders, because they're getting the geospatial data and they're getting the ecological data from those NGOs. So when those opportunities arise, we will put them on the website and we will communicate to the user base that these are now available for you to go in and apply directly on the website. So they're specifically to apply on the Restore website, and the criteria and the questions will be set by those by the funders. So yeah, it's kind of two different methodologies. The first one was just a list, but the second one is we're actually building this funded opportunity through the Restore platform now. So we're really excited about it. It's something that we're really going to be putting a lot of effort in this year to do, because we now host these incredible locally led, indigenous led, community led initiatives on the platform. And this is part of one of our missions, is to really narrow this gap from nature investments into these smaller community led projects that really obviously need the uplifting. So I hope that answers your question.
Yes, thank you so much.
So please keep an eye out, and when we have these opportunities, we'll communicate them in newsletters. We'll also communicate them through emails to the user base as well. And there's another question. Is it Elia?
Yes, it's Elia. Hi. Very impressive what you build up here. I had a little bit of question on the community aspect that you mentioned earlier. So I saw how Anissa showed how you can reach out to specific projects. Now, how is it at the moment? Is there already like a way to interact in the community, or is it at the moment really like one person reaching out to one project at this stage?
So we haven't built in an on-platform communication system yet. So, it's something on the roadmap. Obviously, technically, it's a huge build if we're going to build in potentially forums, or if we're going to build in like this almost social media chat aspect where you can direct message each other. Obviously, people can display their contact details on their website, which will allow for communication more one-on-one basis. But we are taking this forward off platform, and maybe I'll hand to Marina quickly, just to, because Marina really heads up the community webinar side of things. So where we're kind of bringing the community together and running different sessions. Marina,
Yeah.
30 seconds about.
Funny thing, I just had a meeting about that yesterday. We talked about it. As Gwen said, building a communicating tool in the platform would be very expensive and it will take some time. That's why we also want to hear from you if you are interested in something, in a tool to communicate with the community. Our idea was to run a test of the platform. That's why we asked you about WhatsApp or Discord. So we're thinking about a way to test it before we spend a lot of our resources building a communication tool in the platform. But yeah, for now we want to test one of those apps out of the platform to communicate. And as Gwen said, we also have the community webinars, which are spaces, webinars like this one. We invite our community, but it is not a tutorial about Restore like this one. It is a place to discuss subjects in common and invite guest speakers to talk about them. For example, the last one was about applying indigenous knowledge to restoration, and they're generally very interactive. People interact a lot in the chat, so we believe our community wants to interact with each other and exchange information. So yeah, please take a look at generally we spread them on the newsletters, and we also invite our base of users to those webinars, and you are very welcome to them. Yeah.
I hope that answers your question. I see Niranjan, you have your hand up.
Yeah, hi. This is Niranjan from India. Actually, we work on biodiversity restoration projects. My question was, we have a handful of data about trees and grasses. So is there an opportunity for us? We don't know where to keep that data, if it can be used for the commons, as a common resource. And
so yes, great question.
Is there a platform for us to put that data out to restore, or where can we put it out?
So
is there something like that?
Yeah, in your site profiles, if you've done your on-ground data sourcing and you want to share that, there's a link you can put in there, which is custom link, which you can link into your own data resources. Eventually, a goal of ours as well is to bring in this ability to upload your own ground data, so then you can then make the comparisons between the global data sets and then your own ground data, which you've uploaded as well. So that will become a feature of the site profiles soon. So that's on the product roadmap. Look, long term, I think we probably will work with some trusted partners to gather more on-ground data, which will go to help refine these models. Obviously, that's an enormous task for us to take on, but that's certainly on our long-term roadmap to do.
If there's something to do with that, as a partner, if we have to connect with Restore and give that data to you, then we are ready to do so.
Fantastic, thank you. Emmanuel, I see you. Sorry, Emanuela. Sorry, I see you have your hand up.
Hi, hello. My question is, maybe you spoke about it and I missed, but I just wanted to know if we can add scientific experimental areas in the Restore platform too, or like ongoing scientific experiments are also can also be included, or is mainly restored areas? You are muted.
Sorry, Marina, would you like to answer that one?
Yeah, sure. Manu is my friend.
Hi, Marina.
Nice to see you.
Yeah, I'm from Brazil, but I'm based
Yeah.
in Germany, but I know Marina. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you too. Very welcome here. Yeah, Manu, you can if this experiment represents any restorative action, then you can add it to restore or conservation too. And that depends on we have different statuses of the experiment of the site when you add it to restore. You can add it as ongoing, as completed, or in planning. So it depends on the status of your experiment, you can add it. And yeah, please feel free, if you want to share more about your methods, please feel free to put the information in the description. For example, here we're testing this method, and it is a text field, and there's no limit of characters, so you can explain whatever you want there.
Great, thanks. Also
Yeah.
for grassland experiments or mainly for forest?
No, for any type of ecosystem you'd like, even for aquatic ones like coral reef, estuaries, anything you'd like. Any type of ecosystem on any part of on Earth, and any type of intervention, as long as if it's restorative.
Okay, thanks.
You're welcome.
This has been a great question and answer. I think we may have time for one last question. Forgive my pronunciation of your name, but is it Neju? You can ask your question.
Hello, good afternoon.
Afternoon.
Yeah, it's such an informative meeting. I just joined Restore, and I've been really passionate about what they are doing, but asking myself, how can a very local community like us be a part? And we've been trying to do quite some great work in the community, and we work along with kids, with children in the community, and we would like to take it to schools. And we've had since June 5th last year, the Environmental Day, we've been doing a lot of training and work in the community with the children as far as environmental hygiene is concerned, planting of trees, and also giving to children to plant in their families. And the rains have started. We have been looking forward for this huge program that we want to do. And so we want to do a garden. It will to transform a part of a local community into a community garden where each of these child will be involved, and then want to do it in such a way that a child has a space and the different kinds of food that, because most species of food are no longer in use, and some children just eat it, they don't know how it looks like, so they will bring now which crop is particular in their community, and then they will have to plant it. We plant things all together, and then we watch it grow, and then we see how we can impact these children to know how does a vegetable look like, how does it look like from day they plant it until it grows. And also when we do it, we encourage the families also to do a backyard farming. What we have done in the community, if they can replicate it in their backyard, it may be 1 or 2 or 3 different types of vegetables. And also I do a lot of talk around the harmful use of pesticides. And so in this farm, it is our experimental farm where we are using natural things around us to grow our vegetables, to grow our farm. Along with the children, they see how it works, and then they can take it to their homes. And so we don't know how to be part of you in capacity building or in future. We just want somebody to, we have been doing our small things in our own way, but when we came to see that you are really doing some great work, we say, how do we join such an organization? Do they pay membership fee? Do you support little organizations as well, little activities? So
I'll just sorry, not to cut you off. Just what I can do is 100%. Your story sounds incredible. What? Because we're really short on time. What I might do is connect you with Ruth, who's our regional engagement lead, and she can connect with you and kind of walk you through the process in how to like showcase some of the incredible work that you're doing. I think, you know, we really want to hear these stories. These stories sound incredible, and these are the exact stories that we're trying to highlight and really elevate at Restore. So look, if you quickly skip back to that slide, and this is just kind of a list of all of our regional engagement leads of where we are dotted around the world, so you can connect up with anyone in your region. And they'll take you through the platform. They'll show you how it works, and they can give you more of a one-on-one support. And particularly if you have, there's some unique cases like the one that you were just speaking about, Ganju. So I do apologise for cutting you off because we've just gone over time now. But please do reach out to us outside of this webinar. And just onto the just as a final wrap up, look, we thank you all for joining. Your questions have all been fantastic, and we hope you got the most out of today. And we please encourage you to create your organization profiles, upload your sites. As I said, and we're going to be bringing in a lot of nature investment partners this year who are going to be running these funding opportunities through the platform. So if you want to apply for those, you have to have your sites on there, and you have to be obviously a part an active community to ensure that you're seeing these coming through the newsletters and through the emails as well. So please keep counting on us, and keep helping spread the word about Restore to your networks. And we hope to see you on more of these community webinars in the future as well. So on that note, thank you all. If it's morning, afternoon, or evening, I hope everyone has a great day. Bye for now.
Thank you very much. Thank you. That was great.
Thank you, everyone.